Hey, I'm Renee, but you can call me Blade, and this is the Oh My God Show. I know that I have been missing in action, but well, welcome back to me. I have been going through some stuff, and sorry, because of that, I've been kind of keeping a low down keeping a low profile, right? And but today, or one of my friends subscribed, and somebody else who I don't know subscribed, and I'm like, oh, I feel so badly because I'm not making any videos at the moment, and persons are still watching and still subscribing, and I felt really good and kind of compelled. Yes, I promised somebody that I was gonna do it. So hey, yes, Tasha, hi, Tasha from Canada. I'm making sure that I give you a shout out, because yeah, you're kind of one of the reasons why I'm doing this video right now. Where do I start? I have done videos before where I spoke about having chronic pelvic pains, and the days on end of pain, and all these things that I've had to go through. You can just search my channel and you will find the video. I think I was here in our red top, yes, and probably something else another time I mentioned it. So after several years, like over 10 years of going to the doctor, actually being in pain, starting from I was in high school. Sometimes I would pass out, I was always throwing up. I mean, pelvic pain, like I just can't even explain it. Just everything down there just seemed to be in shambles, and it was usually mainly like period related, and then it kept getting worse and worse over the years. So I used to have pain during my period, and it was really bad. Then afterwards, I started feeling pain before my period, during my period. Then I started feeling pain before, during, and after. I think I ended up with probably only like a week out of 1 week, 1.5 weeks or so per month of not really having pain. And of course it went further, so I felt pain before, during, after, and then generally I would just feel pain otherwise. My pelvis, my back, pain shooting up my spine, shooting down my legs, having to take all these days from school and no work because of the pain. It is a very long story, actually. It's over 10 years, I'm sure, so it's a very, very long story. So for persons, if you have this condition, or if you're going through stuff, I think that you should definitely see a medical doctor, because I kept going to the doctors for years, but most people, some people thought the pain was in my head. I don't know why. Not a doctor, but there are people, in a state people, and you're feeling all this pain. Persons think that maybe you're probably just overdoing this pain thing now. You're kind of being a bit much, attention seeking much, but maybe not that harsh. I'm just exaggerating. But the pain was hell ever. The pain was a lot, and the pain was frequent, and as I said, it got to the point where I just felt like I just couldn't deal with it anymore. So long story short, I ended up having to do, in February actually, which means just a couple of weeks, I'm just back at work because I did a laparoscopy, or laparoscopic surgery. Now that is where they make an incision into your navel. Well, that's what they did for me. I'm sure there may be variations of it. One incision into my navel and one incision on my, which side is this now, God? I always have problem. Left. You're seeing it this way, but it's this way. Sorry, that is so stupid of me. Sorry. Oh gosh. Anyway, I'm telling you something very serious. So I have like 2 little incisions. At first, when I heard that I had to do laparoscopic surgery, I was worried, because first thing you're thinking that you're gonna be ruined, because people are gonna be cutting into you and leaving the scars. Maybe, I'm not sure if I'll ever show you, because yes, I'm not sure if I'll ever show you, but gladly for me, I'm kind of happy because the whole, one of them is in my navel, and why am I even talking? This is not even important. Anyway, yes, the scar's not as bad as I Jesus, can I get through my story without people? You know that I am doing this video all by myself, but like these things in my head just keep disturbing. I'm trying to have a perfectly normal conversation with you here, right? I know I'm crazy. I know I'm trying to be a better man. Yes. So laparoscopic surgery, it went well-ish. There's another aspect of my story, but I don't think I'll tell you right now. But the diagnosis, oh yes, so they suspected that I had endometriosis. Anyway, I have done blood tests to test for stuff, all sort of blood tests, and I've done in the past a transrectal ultrasound. Now that to date has been the most humiliating and painful medical exam I've had to do. I was in so much pain because I actually got to the point where I wasn't able to sit up because there was something there. It was so painful, and there were times when I couldn't sit in classes. I had to not go to school because the pain was just so much. So they had to do transrectal, and there are other reasons why they had to do that, but yeah, that's for another video. When I'm in a good mood, I'll tell you. So yes, so they had to do that, and anyway, that was before. So that was just a very terrible medical exam. But I think the reason why mine was so terrible is because they were probably actually pushing stuff where pain receptors and things out of place and things. So that was very, very painful for me and very traumatic. I think I ended up sleeping through one whole day, skipped out a day in my subconscious, and woke up, and like it was Monday I did it, and I woke up Wednesday. As far as I'm concerned, I had no recollection of Tuesday. I was in so much pain and I was so traumatized. Yes, it was really rough. So now I have been diagnosed with stage 4 endometriosis, and I also have polycystic ovaries, which means that both of my ovaries have cysts in them, and one of them has, I think, 2 cysts. Yes, so it's polycystic ovaries plus endometriosis. I'm on hormone, and I'm on one contraceptive, but it's more for its hormonal properties thingy, and I'm supposed to go on another one. I won't tell you everything about the surgery and everything about what is happening to me in this video, but if you're somebody who going through similar problems, or you may have endometriosis or ovarian cysts or any of the other gynecological problems, and you want to talk to me, then you could probably just send me a message. Then I could like get into details with you, but I won't get into that much details. So yeah, so that was the mysterious condition. Yeah, stage 4 endometriosis is one of the, I think it's the worst or last stage, worst stage of endometriosis. And yes, so endometriosis is a condition where the lining of your uterus, the same cells that are supposed to stay in there and bleed normally like a period and behave themselves, decide to migrate outside of the uterus and go to different parts of your body and just start creating havoc, acting as though they're menstruating and doing stuff. Then blood gets filled up in places like my abdomen, for example, had a lot of blood in it, just like blood in my abdomen. Yeah, so probably that explains a lot, because I was just like out of it. But anyway, so I had like blood in my abdomen that they had to, I think, remove. Then some of my organs were like sticking together because the endometriosis formed these things called adhesions, so things start sticking together. The doctors tried to like pry some of them apart, but for some things the damage was really too bad, so there's nothing that they could do about it. So what they're trying to do now is try to help me by giving me hormones and stuff to try to shrink or prevent some of the other upcoming endometriosis, we'll call it tissues or outgrowths or whatever. to develop. So yes, so to be honest with you, I kind of knew, I kind of was informed maybe it could be endometriosis, blah blah blah, whatever, etc etc. But now that it is like diagnosed and you're sure it is it, and you know what is happening, and you know all of the way you call it, the risk and the complications and the problems that you can have with it, then I'm telling you the truth, it's a little bit depressing. The facts is really depressing, and I've been a little bit emotionally under the weather, so to speak. And today has been one of my best days. I've been trying to say, what do I do? What kind of video do I make? Sometimes it is so hard to keep it real, because you're talking to people who you want to help, but then some people who probably don't want to be helped, and you're making a video because you want to make the video, and you have that right and that, what you call it, privilege to keep back and to not be real. But so it is a very debilitating condition. It doesn't have a cure, so you're always gonna be probably dealing with stuff relating to it, and having to some of these cells can even go as far as to your liver and all these other things that they can cause. So it is a bit rough, yes, to swallow. Yes, so today is one of my better days. So I waited until I was like composed, and my scars, hold on. Well, I have a navel that like goes in. I won't show you anymore. The other one is kind of far down. It's kind of more down to where maybe shouldn't be showing on YouTube, but my navel is like inside, so they just cut in it, so it doesn't really show. So I think that's like in the midst of the storm, you're like, yay, bikini body is still here. You heard? Nice. Alright, anyway, I'm not doing the video. Yeah, so it was a little bit depressing. I went to the school church service, and I watched these school things, and I spoken to friends. For some people, I guess they don't understand when I try to say, listen, you know, I'm going through a rough time, I'm going through a challenging time, and this is kind of tough on me. Emotionally, you're a wreck. Physically, you're a wreck. Your body is basically going through all of these changes. First things people gone in there, gonna cut up and move around things. Now you're gonna be on hormones, and then you have to deal with the reality of what your life is, because that's what the condition is saying. But there's a part of me that is dealing with this and feeling bad and being all moody and doing whatever I have to do to keep my head above the water, so to speak. But at the same time, I have no choice but to just give everything to God and say to myself that, you know what, if God wanted it to be fixed, if God wanted to fix me, then He would fix me. If God wanted this to not happen to me, or if God wanted to catch it in an earlier stage, not at the last minute, or at the last stage when things actually gone bad already, you know, He would have. But I have learned, somebody say, I have learned how to lean and depend on Jesus, you know, and